Transform this into this. Hi, my name's Hayward, head baker here at The Big Bakes. I'm going to be showing you how to make this bake in 4 easy steps. It's going to be a pizza cake. So we've got our 10-inch sponge here. We're going to let that completely cool and then we're going to get into carving. So to get our pizza shape, we've got our 10-inch sponge here. I've got an 8-inch template that I'm going to place into the center. This is going to mark out our crust. I'm then going to go in with a small sharp knife and cut around the template. Now you want to make sure you don't go all the way down, just about 1 centimetre. So this is going to be our crust that we're marking out now. I'm just creating a slight indentation just to sort of have a difference between the crust and the centre part. So I'm just using my knife just to scrape away some of the cake, not too much. So next, what I'm going to do is just round the edges a bit. If you can tell at the moment, it's a bit sort of at a right angle. I just want to soften those edges, give it a bit of curvature. So I'm going to take my carving knife again, and I'm just going to work around just the edge, taking off that corner. So now that I'm happy with the pizza base, I'm going to move on to the pizza sauce curd and the fondant. I've got my strawberry puree and my sugar and corn flour mix, and I'm going to mix those two together until it's completely smooth. So once it's completely smooth, you're going to turn the heat on. So it's bubbling up now, which is what we want. You're going to take it off the heat, and then we're going to drop in our butter and stir. So the butter is going to emulsify the curd. Once cooled, this is the texture and consistency that you'll have. So now we're going to move on to the fondant part. So this is going to be for our crust, the toppings and the cheese. So I've got some pepperoni here. To make that, I just dyed some fondant, a red colour. I mixed in a bit of brown as well to get that pepperoni shade, rolled it out, and then I used a circle cutter to cut out my circles. I've also got some olives here, really simple, just some black fondant that I'm going to ball, slightly flatten, and then use the tip of a circle nozzle just to cut out a little olive shape, sliced olive shape. And they don't have to be perfect, it actually adds to the realism if they're slightly irregular. So to make the green peppers, I've got 2 shades of green, and then I'm just going to layer them on top of each other, just so it looks like the skin of the pepper and then the flesh part underneath. Add in a bit of texturing just so it looks like it's baked in the oven. So for the dough, I've got some crust coloured fondant. So I've just mixed in a bit of yellow and brown, and then I'm going to roll it into a long sausage shape. So we're going to be covering the crust in 2 sections, otherwise it's just a bit too difficult to work with. And then what you do is just flatten it. So this is what's going to wrap around the crust and tuck underneath. So that's going to go on in 2 sections. For the cheese, you've got 2 options. You can do the grated cheese look, which is just fondant and then a grater, and sprinkle that onto your pizza. But for my one, I'm going to go for a sort of melted cheese look, and that's just 1 piece of fondant that's been rolled out into a circle and then placed onto the cake, and then we're going to go in with a bit of texturing to make it look like it's just come out of the oven. So now we're going to assemble our pizza, starting with the crust. So to do that, we have our curd from earlier. I'm going to brush some of the curd just onto the crust, and this is going to act as glue so we can stick the fondant to it. So we're going to go all the way around. So we've got our curd or pizza sauce applied to just the edge, and now we're going to go in with the fondant crust that we rolled out. So then you're just going to work it around the edge. You want to have it come up so you can pull it a bit in places. So the reason why I said to put this on in 2 pieces, otherwise it's just a bit too long and difficult to work with. So in 2 parts, we've got that first bit there. Don't worry about any seams because you can just press the fondant down and that will hide it. And once you put all the texturing on, you won't see it anyway. But you just want to make sure that it goes right underneath so you can press down fondant is really malleable, so you can really work it into any areas that it's not quite covering. Also, don't worry too much if some of the curd or pizza sauce is seeping out the edges there, that adds to the realism. Crushed up foil that I'm going to go around just to crimp the edges and give it a bit of texturing. So then we're going to add the pizza sauce, and you can also go in with a bit of brown and yellow food colouring mix just to give it that sort of golden baked look. We're going to add the cheese, and then we're going to finish it off with our toppings. So I'm just going in with some herbs. This is just desiccated coconut that I've dyed green just to finish it off. And there you have it, a pizza cake. Subscribe for more recipes, tips, and baking joy.